Morning, Ricky. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to share the risk disclosure. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend, restful weekend, ready to hit the markets. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes, give everyone a chance to join us. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with the risk disclosure, gives folks a chance to join us here. Again, just a reminder that the market trader and its affiliates, the information that we're about to provide is to be treated as general information only. None of the information contained is intended as investment advice. An offer to sell, buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Future trading does carry a fair amount of risk. It is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Nothing contained herein is a solicitation, an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex. And past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, guys, I'm going to go ahead and we'll move on to the news. We'll open up our news portal here and see what news has in store here for us today, or what kind of news we have in store for us. So let's see. Let's move this over here. All right. Hopefully you guys can see the news portal. I'll pause here for confirmation on that. Hey, Sergey. Okay, awesome. Okay, so it seems to be relatively light on news today. We have a Fed member Bowman speaking at 8:50 Eastern time. We have U.S. Chicago PMI coming in at 9:45 today. We have Powell speaking at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and then the last one is I don't believe has any impact on us at all. Now we do have a good amount of news tomorrow. Okay, a lot of news tomorrow. Morning, Mike. But nothing that I guess leading into these reports could have an effect on the volatility of the market today. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten through hey, Alejandro, now that we've gotten through the news here, guys, let's go ahead and move to the charts. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and open up the charts. This up here. Morning, David. Okay. We'll move on to charts, and we'll open up the gold. So GCZ 2024. All right, there we are. Okay. We're going to turn off some of our levels for now and focus in on just what the market is trying to accomplish here. We'll start off with a weekly chart. Weekly chart up until recently has been really trying to make higher highs and higher lows. We started off the week and maybe the tail end of last week's with some selling. Okay. Um, right. So hey, Sapadia. So we'll see. But overall, I would say the market is still very much bullish. Okay. We haven't really broken any significant structure to the downside. We haven't broken the prior candle to the downside. Although we do have a developing, I don't know, you could think of it as more of I guess, a bearish piercing, I guess, candle, not quite an engulfing candle, but I would say a bearish piercing candle. All right. These levels are a little bit dated, so we'll go ahead and remove those for now. Okay. Moving on to the daily. Okay, daily chart. Again, we have 2 days now worth of selling, but this could be, normal. All right, normal for a regular little bit of pullback for our next leg higher, because you can see here, if I just draw a single trend line here, just a single trend line, you can see that we're maintaining structure right to the upside. Okay, nothing has broken structure yet to the downside. Okay, we have a couple of candles. One candle, this was more engulfing than piercing, and then we have a developing candle as a kind of a follow through candle heading lower here. Okay, so daily chart is still bullish, but I would say that maybe the last three candles are probably a little bit more on the bearish side. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, so we have our anchor VWAP established back in this area over here. I'm going to go ahead and move it down to this pivot. Oops, it's not what right here. I'm going to move this over here. Okay, so we're rapidly approaching this area here. This area at 26, 54, 53, 7. Okay. This is a prior area of support. So the expectation is if we are indeed in bullish structure, then I would expect that would hold. Now, we have broken some structure here to the downside on the 4-hour, right? We have price close below this level. We have price appears to want to close below this level. And now we're at an area where we could expect some buyers, okay, potentially, right in this area, right? Now, if we do break below this level, then I don't see any reason why we don't go back down to 2620, okay? So this area right here is an area of importance for buyers. If we don't hold this level, no lower than I would say 2646, then we have a reasonable chance of getting back down to 2616. Okay. So moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay. We'll try to keep this nimble here. All right. So again, I have this demand level that I drew on the 4-hour chart. Okay. Based on these kind of consolidations that we've been seeing, I'm going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile here for Friday. Okay. Drag that across to the close. Okay. So you can see here that we have our value area. Okay, we probably at this point can draw our initial balance. We're going to modify that to not Tokyo, but the day session. Okay, and click on OK. So we have a relatively narrow range developing at the moment. Okay, 15 minutes into it, hasn't really established much of a range in gold, which could be an indication for potentially slow market, I would say, maybe because in anticipation of the news. Now, if we do get a break, right? Well, we don't have to risk all that much, right? Assuming that this range stays intact here. So we'll go ahead and add our levels here. Okay, add our levels up to this here, right here. Okay. There are levels. So we'll go ahead and open up average daily range. Average daily range we have coming in at 26.9690. That's what we have here. Average daily range low 26.64. That's what we have here. Average session range. We'll just double check. We'll move it this. Make sure that it says New York, and click OK, and open up that level. Okay, that's coming in a bit higher. Let's see if we got that right. 2677 average, yeah, 2677.60, and then 2699. So value area high coming in at 2683. Point of control coming in at 2669, and then settlement at 2668.10. Okay. So what to make of this market? Well, right now, we are below value from Friday, indicating that maybe there is more downside pressure, okay, in this market. Now, should we develop a little bit of I would say maybe a double bottom here, maybe W pattern, and we're able to close back inside value, well, that could offer us an opportunity to the bullish side, back up to say the highs of Sunday or highs of Monday, okay, high of Monday, right? There could be an opportunity for, price to kind of reverse and head higher. Now, if we are not able to hold, let's say 2658, or hold above 2655, then there might be some more downside in this market. Okay. Let's see if I can open up VWAP. VWAP, there it is. I'm inclined to do an anchor VWAP here at, let's say, the top of London here. Okay. So again, as long as price remains below both these VWAPs, we have to err on the side of the bears. Okay. We understand that we're coming into an area of demand. So the idea here is that ideally we want to sell some sort of strength, or at least have something like initial balance low as a reference level to support our shorts. Okay. A break below, and then maybe we can use the initial balance range as an area of where we can place our stops. Okay. So we'll wait for that to happen. We're about a good 45 minutes away from this initial balance range establishing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for that initial balance range to establish, and then see where price is in reference to that before I take any kind of execution. All right. So let's see. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at in the gold market. Before I move on to the crude oil market, let's see if I can check out the chat. So yeah, I got guys. So we have a fair number of you in the room. I would again encourage everyone to hit the subscribe button. If you're not already a subscriber, don't hesitate to hit the like button if what I'm sharing with you resonates or supports you in any way in your trading. Okay. And then as you see this content being displayed in X or YouTube, don't be afraid to comment and like or things of that nature. Okay. Again, the subscribers and the likes and the comments are all kind of the lifeblood of content providers like myself. So don't be shy with those. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on now to the crude oil market. All right. So we'll move this to crude oil, which I believe is X at this point. Okay. So here we are. We're getting a nice reaction off of ADR here. Okay. Nice reaction off of ADR. And now it looks like we're about to exceed, or have already exceeded average session range, although this seems to be a little bit on the light side. So let me move this to London for now. Okay. So now we have a little bit better kind of range establishing here. We're about 9 minutes away from this market or this market opening. So that could also impact it as well. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the weekly chart. We'll start with the weekly chart. We'll remove some of our drawings here and focus in on what the candles are trying to tell us. And again, we remain, as surprising as this may sound, we remain with all the unrest that we have in the Middle East. It's amazing for me to see that we continue to have some, that we remain in bearish structure here. Okay. It looks to me that the market wants to continue to head lower, right? We broke recently in the last 4 weeks. We broke below this level of 70.52, and now we're at a level where we could expect some demand here around 68. Okay, have yet to make a new low, right? At least a close low. Okay. So this could be maybe a little bit of a maybe potential double bottom that's establishing here. It's hard to say. We haven't really made any significant new highs. Okay, everything on the bullish side has been kind of contained inside these bearish candles. So really, on the weekly chart, ideally you'd want to see some sort of close above, let's say 75, which I know that we're a ways away. At our minimum, at least above 71, 72 seems like the area that would maybe start to change the character of this market to the bullish side. Okay. Daily, looking at the daily again, we have not made a new low. Okay. So we got to 65, which is a logical level here. Now it looks like we have developed a little bit of a demand zone here. All right, daily demand zone. And assuming that price does not get back inside or close below 65, then we have a reasonable chance for price to continue higher, maybe get as high as 72. And if we get beyond 72, then we start to visit some of these levels above us. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart, we have a developing, let's remove VWAP for now. Leave initial balance off of this as well. So you can see here, this demand zone, we've had repeated attempts to go lower, but was met with basically no sellers. Okay. On the other hand, as the longer we stay at a level without making a new low, well, that gives the buyers the confidence to that maybe they found a point where they can add to their portfolio. We have a move away from this, I think, daily level that we had drawn. And now we have a rejection candle away from it. Still has not closed, but rejection nonetheless. Okay, so that's kind of an indication that we could potentially see some higher prices. I would say that 69 still seems to be a level of that you would like to see a price close above in order to continue to embrace the longs here. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. All right, 30-minute chart. We are technically above settlement. We got to the bottom of settlement and reacted, continued to the downside, but then that was met with some buyers. As you can see here, we do have an area where we could see some buyers. Price is beginning to close above this area of structure. Again, here's that 69 level that we were talking about earlier on the 4-hour chart, and then ultimately above, 69. I think we'll start to clear the way for 70. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. Let's locate where we are with respect to value. All right, so here nope, that's not what I wanted. Let's move this over to the left. One more, there it is. And we'll go ahead and close it over here. So we are technically inside value. We are about a minute or so, or maybe 4 minutes away from opening. Okay, so we're still technically on value, but I would say that we're on the precipice of potentially exceeding value from Friday, assuming that we are able to cross above that with some volume. It looks like the volume is there, right? We do have a fair amount of volume, buy volume coming into this. So if we do manage to close above this 68.40 level, 68, let's say 68.50, then maybe we have, the makings of some bullish move here, using the value area high as kind of a reference level and area, where we can maybe manage our risk around. Okay. Let's see. So let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. We were in the crude oil market. Let move on and add our levels. That's what I meant to say. Add our levels. Okay. So here are our levels. We already drawn in our value area. We're going to go ahead and add our ADR. We're just going to spot check some of these things, guys. So we have 69, 69. Is that 69, 69? Oh, that doesn't seem. Okay, 69, 69 as our average daily range high. Okay, 69, 69 as our average daily range high. We have a nice reversal off of ADR low at 67.55. Let's go ahead and add or open up ASR here. Okay, and see where we are with reference. Let's make sure that this reads New York. Okay, because the New York market is about to open here in a couple of minutes. So we'll let that kind of settle in. This will probably adjust on us a little bit. Let's see. We have value area high at 68.38. We have point of control also up there at 68.30. We have settlement at 68.18. Okay. So yeah, so nice reversal off of ADR low at the moment. I would say again, if we do manage to get above value area high, that could spell for maybe a rally higher, maybe to the high of day. Okay. That's kind of what it's looking like for me at the moment. Let's make sure we open up initial balance, because the initial balance range is going to open up here in a couple of minutes. Let's see. 72 is our 4-hour supply. We have 67.25 as our 4-hour demand. If I'm a seller of a market, well, this would be a level, assuming that we get some sort of indication that it's going to be rejected. Otherwise, I'd have to look at a little bit higher. 69 seems like a logical level that where maybe we could start entertaining maybe a short as high as 69.70. That would seem kind of the an ideal area potentially to fade. Okay. All right. I was kind of buying some time here to see how we open here, whether we open inside value or whether we open outside of value. Looks like we're trying to stay. Price is trying to stay inside value, which could indicate some range price action. So just kind of hang out here. There it is, the open of the market. Now you see how we now our session ranges have changed here. So I'm going to adjust my session ranges to 69.25. 69.25 is our average session range high, 69.25. And our average session range low is 67.52. 67.52. Okay, is our average session range low. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and update this on our spreadsheet. Okay. Yeah, we'll set that here in a minute. Let me get this added to our spreadsheet. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now, it's like I said, we have anchor VWAP. Let's see, VWAP price is below VWAP. I would say we would take our VWAP maybe to the high of the day. So we can add our anchor VWAP here somewhere, maybe one of these. Okay. So right now we're kind of in an area of decision. Do we close above? Do we close below this VWAP? The daily looks like it's trying to get below If we do manage to get below, then I would say that we have an opportunity maybe to the downside in this market. Okay. Maybe a continuation move like this. Okay. But I need to see some sort of confirmation bar that this is indeed going to close, or that that the sellers do have the staying power to at least create a 15-minute candle to the bearish side. Okay. If I do decide to go on a short, well, I know where I'm wrong, right? If price closes above value or above my initial balance range, then I know I'm wrong, right? So wrong to short, okay? Because then that's an indication that we are getting some buying coming in. Right now, the volume delta is indicating that we have a fair number of sellers here right now coming in. We have about 1,500 more sellers than buyers at the moment, okay? But that could change, okay? So right now we're at an area of decision. I would say the best course of action, it would be to wait and let the initial balance establish, and then from there decide where price is in reference to these areas that we're looking at right now. But it's at an area of decision. Okay, value area high, settlement price. We're kind of stuck in the middle here a little bit. We'll have to wait to see where price takes us. If price does indeed close below initial balance, just want to make sure that I have my ranges established here correctly. All right. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for the gold market. We'll just have to wait to see how price reacts here around value area high, initial balance, and settlement. If we do manage to close below all of this, then yes, I see 67.52 in our sights, which would make for a very, nice short. Okay. So again, there's no real reason to rush necessarily into this market. Let the market speak to you. Let the price structure develop before we, take on any sort of executions. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the equity market, which I know that a number of you are waiting on. So we'll move on to those. And Z. Okay. So here we are. It kind of looked a little bit like gold there first. I mean, crude oil there for a second. Okay. So let's take a look at the weekly chart. Okay, weekly chart. What is the weekly chart is telling us? Well, the weekly chart is telling us that looks like we're kind of a little bit in a range in this market. Okay, we'll go ahead and remove this for now. Looks like we're in a little bit of a range, right? We had a push lower, now we had a push higher, and that was met with some sellers, and now it's not met with some buyers. So not the greatest of price action, to be honest, to be participating in, to be honest. The market is lacking a little bit of direction. Maybe it needs a little bit more in the way of guidance as to what direction it should go. But if you look at it from maybe a longer view, well, a longer view says that it looks like the market wants to head higher, right? We had a nice rejection candle here away from this 18,000 level, and now we've technically made a new high. Although I can't be super excited by having this selling wick at the close of the candle here. Okay, so there seems to be still a fair number of sellers here around this 20,500, 21,000, and as you can see here on the volume delta, there is a little bit of indecision that is going on at these levels. Okay, looking at the daily chart. Looking at the daily chart, so we have, again, we've broken to the upside. I can't say that is all that impressive. Okay, it looks like we are developing some sort of consolidating kind of triangle pattern here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now, something along those lines. So maybe we are due for a leg back to this edge here. That's kind of what I'm seeing on the daily. Maybe this area is going to serve as an area of resistance, and we'll get another swing to the other side of this triangle pattern. Looking at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, okay, again, we have our series of candles here. Let's go ahead and turn off initial balance and ASR here for a moment. And yeah, we can leave VWAP. Okay, so we're beginning to create a little bit of a staircase. Okay, so we had a push down, we consolidated, another push down, we consolidated. Does that mean that we'll have another push down? I don't know. We are in an area. We are in an area where we had fair price before, and it's looks like it's initially reactive, although not all that impressive. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart right now. Price is below VWAP. Okay, price is below VWAP, below settlement, indicating that maybe we have some selling pressure in the market. Okay, if price manages to get above VWAP and above settlement, then it opens the door for some prices above us. But until that happens, I have to err on the side of the bears. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw in our anchor VWAP here. So let's see. This is the top of day Friday. This is start of Sunday, and this is the top of London. So let's start with the top of London. So yeah, right now we're kind of hugging against this anchored VWAP. Like I said, if I'm going to be interested in taking this long, then I need to get above, I would say 20,210. Ideally above 20,040. Okay, if I'm long. If I'm short, well, I'm at a level now, and I'm not seeing the reaction that I would expect to see right now, at least. Maybe they're waiting for the market to open here in about 22 minutes or so. That I would not want to see price get above this anchor VWAP or this daily VWAP. If it doesn't, then maybe there's an opportunity here to take the market to the short side. You can see that we are sloping to the downside. So this would be a logical area for us to potentially take on a short. Okay, but I don't necessarily want a short on a bullish candle, right? I want a short where I see maybe at least some semblance of a bearish candle. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw in my anchored VWAP, not anchored VWAP. I'm going to draw my value area. All right, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and start here and drag that across. And there you are. Price is currently below value. All right. So again, this area, this would serve as a logical area for price to be resistant, 20,212, which is also around our settlement price. Okay, so makes sense, right? Low end of value price. Okay, now if we do manage to get above both of these, then I say that we have a reasonable chance to get back up to the highs of the session here. Okay, let's go ahead and open up ASR here. Let's move it to London for now, with the understanding that this is probably going to adjust here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add our levels. We're going to add our levels to the chart. Okay, here we are. Looks like market is trying to push higher here. Okay, now if it's going to be successful, we don't know, but it is trying to push higher. And if price begins to close above some of these levels, then, like I said before, there might be an opportunity for an upside move in gold here, in the Nasdaq. Okay, let's see. Let's start calling out our levels here. So average session range, we got 3,000 of it, 20,000, 340, 25. We got 20,108. We got average daily range coming in at 345. I got it at 344. I think that's close enough. ADR low, that's coming in at 20,054. I got 20,053.50. We're all good there. We are technically below value. We got value area low coming in at 20,212.50. We got point of control coming in at 20,252. So all these levels seem to be in line. Okay. So what to expect of this market? Well, right now, I would say that, given these series of candles here, that maybe the market is trying to turn bullish. Okay. I would be kind of inclined here, and I don't know whether to include this or not. But if I do something like this, okay, that seems to be representative of the price action that I'm seeing. And you can see that we have a little candle here peeking above. All right, peeking above this candle. So if it does manage to close above this channel, then maybe we have maybe an opportunity to the upside. What's kind of got me a little bit guarded here is that we're still technically below VWAP. We're in otherwise bearish structure. The more conservative side of me would say that I should be waiting until we clear all of this before we take on any sort of long. Okay, because anyone sellers could step in at any point inside this area. Now, if we do break above this, then I would say that we have a reasonable chance to get back to, say, a ASR high. Okay, but we can't as they say, we can't count our chickens before they're hatched. Right now, we need to the first thing that we need to see is that we need to see price close above this channel. That will close us above this anchor VWAP that we established at the start of the day in London. And then the daily, if we get above that, then that's another notch in the bullish case. And then ultimately above, I would say 20,035, maybe even high as 20,052, but at least above 20,230 before I would, begin to consider, because that would also get us back inside value. And that will maybe serve as a springboard, maybe for some action further higher. Now, I just want to guard against this, right? You see here what happened the last time that we had a similar scenario, right? That's why I'm a little bit guarded, right? We had a push lower. We had a series of candles that were kind of giving us an indication that I wanted to head higher. It peaked above settlement, and what happened? It sold off. Okay. Right. So there's nothing that says that we can't have the same thing happen to us again. Right. We had a peak above and it turned around and sold off. So we could potentially have the same kind of thing happen. Right. So like I said, I need to see volume. I need to see price get above some of these levels with some strength before I'm willing to take on the long. Otherwise, we might be better served in continuing to look for shorts in this market, because that's what the price structure is telling us. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I have for the NASDAQ, guys. We got our anchor VWAP. We have kind of a sense of where we're at in the market, price wise, location wise. We have a few hypos that we could entertain. Right now, maybe, you could entertain maybe a possible long, but again, this area right here is kind of causing me a little bit of, how do we say, heartburn, right? It's probably not an area, could easily turn around on us. Okay. So with that said, I'm probably going to be patient. All right. You're welcome, Frizu. All right. All right. So that's kind of what I have for the NASDAQ, guys. So let's move on to the ES. Okay. So ES. Okay, so we're not quite as long in the move higher but also maybe presents us maybe a better opportunity to manage our risk here. I'm gonna kind of forego the weekly, daily, 4 hour. I suspect that we're probably around the same levels here. So again, we are still in bearish structure. Okay, you can see, yes. We are still in bearish structure. All right. Right here. Okay. This is definitely bearish, right? Now, what's nice about this is that we're at a location. we're at a location where we can manage our risk for an opportunity that at least could take us back to the top of the channel. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing right now, or to the top of anchored VWAP or VWAP, daily VWAP. Okay. Now, if we if we do manage to get above, say, 5,800, well, then maybe that opens us up to some higher prices. But every time we've hit the top of this channel, it's been met with sellers. So for now, until further notice, I have to, if I'm going to support a bullish trade, the top of the channel is probably my target. So let's go ahead and open up our anchored VWAP here. So we're going to take it to this here, which is the top of London. Okay. So again, price remains below daily VWAP, remains below anchor VWAP. So again, have to err on the side of bears. Okay. Until we break price above. If we start breaking price above with some volume, then we maybe start to make a case for maybe a move higher. Otherwise, if we remain below VWAP, then we're looking at continuation of price to the downside. Okay, all right, that's kind of what I'm seeing on the ES. All right, taking a peek. Thank you, Frizu, for your efforts in securing some likes for the channel here. Do appreciate that. Let's unless there's any questions on the ES, I would say that I think the path forward seems to be bearish. Okay. But that could easily change with the open and we start to get above value. So this is kind of another level here that I'm going to draw. Okay. This value area low is going to be another area that I'm going to keep an eye on. Okay. And see if price is able to get above it. We have news at 9:45. Is that right? So in about half hour. Is that right, Erkan? What is that? Is that PMI? Chicago PMI? Okay. While we wait for Erkan to give us a response to that. Yeah. So maybe that's maybe again there's a lot of things going on. We have the open coming up in about less than 15 minutes. And then we have another news event coming in at 9:45 Eastern time. So we probably want to wait until, all of that kind of, flushes through the markets. And then, yes, we do have Powell speaking, I believe, at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Which also, he always has the strength to move the market. Okay. So let's go ahead and add our levels here, guys, just to be sure that we're all on the same page with this here. So right now, I would say that we would probably err on the side of the bears. Just kind of spot check some of these levels here. So we have ADR high coming in at let's see, 5809. Okay, ASR high 5814. ASR low 5771, ADR low, that's a little further down at 5759. So yeah, looks like our levels are all in order here, guys. So that's something that you can oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get rid of this line here. Okay. All right, so we'll just have to wait and see. We'll wait for the market to open here in about 10 minutes and see what kind of initial balance range that we get. But I would say right now, if someone said that I had to make a trade, I would probably say that I would probably be looking a little bit bearish. Okay, I would be looking for a bearish trade. Okay, again, 57.85, 57.83. These are all levels, again, that have been broken to the downside. And now that they've been broken to the downside, they could be resistant on the way back. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what I have to say for ES. We'll close the session with a review of the Dow. and then see if there's any other questions on the markets. Again, I'm gonna err on the side of, oops, what happened here? All right. Okay, so here we are. We'll forego the review on the weekly and the daily. I suspect that we're probably getting the same kind of information. Let's see, remove some of these anchored VWAPs. They're probably old, but it's telling us that we are in the area of support. Okay. So this pivot right here is kind of screaming at me to add it as an anchor. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. So there's our anchored VWAP. So that is, price is quite a bit extended below that. We are hugging the daily VWAP pretty closely. We are below price. This seems a bit more bearish than the other equity markets that we've reviewed so far. But equal, I mean, the similar kind of price location. All right. But feels a little bit more heavy to me than the other markets that we've reviewed so far. Okay. So let's open up the fixed range volume profile. Let's draw that to the close for Friday. Price is technically below value here. Okay, if price is able to maintain below, then I think we have a reasonable chance of price getting back down to these ASR lows, maybe beyond. Okay, we have our anchored VWAP. I was going to say that is it worth drawing one for the top of the market or the London? I'm not so sure, but I will go ahead and add it anyway. So we had a little bit of a push at the open of London, and now we're prices below. Okay, so let's add some of these levels, guys. So we have on the top here, we have ADR high at 842.843. Okay, that's our ADR high. Okay, and then we have ADR low coming in at 42.452. That's our ADR low. And then we have average session. We have 42.789 is our average session range high. Okay. And then what's that? 42, what is that? 42.437. 42.437. That's our ASR low. Okay. We have value area high almost at the same level as our ADR high. So we'll put that as 42. What is that? Coming in at 42.851. 42.851. 42.851. That's our average, not value area high. We have value area low coming in at what is that? 42.605. So we'll add it in between. 42.605 is our value area low. Okay, settlement is at 42.656. Settlement 42.656 is our 656 is our settlement price. And then what is it? Point of control coming in at 42.722. 42.722 is our POC. Okay. So again, guys, similar story. As long as price remains below settlement, below daily VWAP and anchor VWAP, we have to err on the side of the bears. This ASR low, this ADR low could offer us a relatively good location to maybe participate in a long trade, potentially. We just have to be aware that we are in a little bit of bearish structure to the downside. So, I would probably be careful with any sort of bullish trades, okay, until we get maybe some pattern of higher highs and higher lows. Right now, our pattern is lower lows and lower highs. So until we start to change that pattern in the opposite way, I'm not really super excited at the longs, and price is currently below a lot of the reference levels that we care about, right? So for now, again, similar to the other markets, we're going to remain patient. Wait for price to tell us, or wait for the market participants to tell us what direction they want to take the market, and then we execute trades. We don't need to how do we say we don't necessarily have the capital to be leaders. Okay, we have to react to what the leaders tell us. Some market participants, wait for the market participants to tell us. We don't have to front load that or think that we know better, kind of thing. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much what I have, guys, to share with respect to the markets. Happy to entertain any questions. I'm happy to see that we've kind of at least gotten on par with the likes with the participants that I have a good. So at least we're above the likes that we have currently of participants in the room. Happy to entertain any questions, guys, on the markets at this point. It is Monday. All right. So we want to ease into Monday. We probably want to be extra patient and kind of let the market kind of tell us what the market wants to do. We don't need to be aggressively, in any sort of trades. Market doesn't appear that it's overly aggressive. We do have a fair amount of news coming in tomorrow, so that could also potentially dull the market until those news events. Nobody wants to stake a position in any direction until all the information is in place. So Robert, the best area, these levels get posted up on Top Step somewhere, Top Step TV. So you can go to Top Step TV and see my levels. That would probably be the most logical location for that. So if you go to Top Step TV, I believe there's a link. Does anybody happen to have the link where they post the levels, including mine? Let's see, Top Step TV levels. Yeah, so I would probably monitor something like this. Oops. Not today. What happened today? So Robert, I would normally look at this area here for my levels. Now, I don't know, Sergey is communicating something that's going on with the levels today. I'm not sure what those are. Looks like they have been updated. No, they're blank. They probably slept in. Yeah, it's possible. So yeah, Robert, that would be the normal location that I would look for my levels. Okay. There's no other location where I don't have rights to the spreadsheet to be able to share it. Okay. If you go back to the recordings, Robert, after I close the session here on YouTube, then you can go back and I posted the levels for each of the sessions. That would be another way to get it. Okay. All right. Looks like the market has already opened, and as expected, it took a dive, at least initially. Okay. It kind of reacted away the way we'd expect to go down. All right. We have the initial balance range kind of establishing here. All right. So I would say that we have a fair opportunity to get down to this ASR low here before we see any sort of major reversal. Okay. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Unless unless there's some other questions, um, we'll go ahead and close here. We're already kind of a minute past. Give you guys an opportunity to kind of continue your research and evaluation of the markets here. Okay, so yeah, makes maybe a nice opening range trade here. I'm not sure. It looks like we were moving in that direction pretty fast. So yeah. So any case, so that's it for me, guys. I'd encourage you again to be patient, wait for the market to get to levels, extreme levels of price, and participate in opportunities that are aligned with your process and edge in the markets. Don't try to kind of reinvent the wheel on the fly and enter in opportunities that you haven't really validated or have a data to support. Okay. All right. So I think that's it, guys. So we'll wish you guys to trade well and trade safe, trade like a pro, and be a market trader. All right, guys. So I will be in the coach's room here in a bit. If all goes to plan, I should be part of Top Step TV here briefly. A little bit later, probably in the next 45 minutes, if everything goes according to plan. Yes, Alejandro, have a nice green day. Okay, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So have a nice green day. We'll see you guys in either the coach's room or we will see you later today in group coaching. All right. Until then, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. You're welcome, David.